The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Welcome back to the David Pakman Show. If you have an Android phone or an iPhone, make sure to get the Stitcher Smart Radio app. Put in promo code DAVID. You'll be entered to win $100 automatically. David Pakman Show will be preloaded onto your favorites, which is really a must, and you'll also be helping to support the David Pakman Show. Promo code DAVID on the Stitcher Smart Radio app. You can also go to Stitcher.com/David Pakman Show. There are a number of buildings, Lewis, which apparently people are not allowed to photograph, period. Except if you want to know what buildings are on that list, well, you can't, because the list is not public either. One example is 3701 North Fairfax Drive in Arlington. That's the DARPA building, Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, which is a low-profile wing of the Defense Department. It does all of the high-tech research that involves weapon systems and, other strategery, for lack of a better term. And there's a couple of instances, including one where an individual was just there photographing. And again, there is plenty of information and satellite imagery of this building on Google Maps, for example, but you just can't go out there and photograph it. There's no sign on the building, period. But you can actually get in serious trouble for going out there and just taking pictures of this unmarked building. So then the logical question is, well, hold on a second. What other buildings are on this list? And it turns out that there's a lot of buildings on the list that you're not allowed to take pictures of, but the list is not public. So in other words, there's no way to know until you have security or police telling you it's illegal to take pictures of that building. What do you think about this?
I think it's completely ridiculous.
Okay, well, I guess we've heard it from Lewis. I mean, this is one of those things where at face value you say, well, who cares? Who needs to be taking pictures of buildings? But it's an example of so many different problems with what we have going on in this country right now. And these are issues we agree with libertarians a lot about. I mean, over the weekend, I was at the Talkers New Media Seminar, and I was talking to Mark and Ian from Free Talk Live. They're up in Keene, New Hampshire, somewhat close to us. And they're kind of left libertarian type guys, very, very much into freedom and so on and so forth. We don't agree on much politically, but a lot of this stuff irks me the way it irks them, because really, you can't take pictures of unmarked buildings where there is no indication that taking pictures is not allowed. Okay. You are increasingly, by TSA, searched, fondled. My pants were shaken and aired out in a very weird, bizarre way that, while I found funny, it really does not suggest to me, it doesn't put any confidence to me in that we're being kept safe. It all seems like a charade. Adam Kokesh from RT is being arrested for silently dancing to music he's listening to in headphones at the Jefferson Memorial. He's chokeslammed as a result of it. And again, a lot of this is in the name of security. A lot of it is really without explanation. And people really do not seem to care that much about it. In other words, people hear about it and they say, yeah, that really stinks. That really doesn't sound right to me. And then people just go on. And you know what? Maybe I'm not doing enough either, Lewis, because I come on the show and I talk about it and I give my opinion. And hopefully some people are listening and watching and realizing what's going on. But maybe I'm guilty of not doing enough either. Because let's be honest, you can't take pictures of the building, but the list of buildings you can't take pictures of is also not available to you.
And there are no signs or any type of notification at the building.
It would be impossible to know that you can't take a picture of that building. Plus, why would the government care if anyone took a picture of the exterior of an office building? And this goes along the same lines as the classified documents situation, which means as many documents that were classified become unclassified, we look at them and we realize, who cares? Who cares about this stuff? This doesn't really seem like an important thing. It doesn't seem like a big deal. In a way, that's more disturbing than if we were finding out that the classified documents contain incredibly sensitive, controversial information, because it means what? It means that the government wants to just keep anything they can classified and under wraps, even stuff of no apparent or significant geopolitical consequence. That is more concerning in a way, ladies and gentlemen. Keep everything private. Just don't let people know about anything we're involved with. And again, people brush it off. I am not a Big Brother type conspiracist. I mean, you know that, Lewis, and the
I mean,
audience
right. It's
knows
not like
that.
you're going. It's not like you're saying the U.S. is turning into 1984.
No, but we are getting to a point of security mania. We're getting to the point where it is becoming such a piece of the background.
Well, it's the climate of fear. I mean, it's the post 9/11 world.
It is, and not in the way that Glenn Beck uses it. In other words, we're not saying the conservative statement of, hey, we've got to do A, B, C, and D, and you've just got to handle it this way, and we've got to racially profile and all of these other things because of 9/11. What I'm saying is that the umbrella of security is being used to create and put in place a lot of policies and structures which people would just not be tolerant of.
Right.
Before 9/11. So in fact, I'm saying quite the opposite.
And we can also question how effective these policies, everything is. I mean, like we talked about with my TSA story and other
Right.
people we talked to, is the TSA really keeping us safe? Probably not nearly as safe as it would seem. And how about the park police? Like, are the park police who are choke slamming people dancing silently at the Jefferson Memorial? I mean, are they keeping, U.S. citizens safe? Doesn't look like it.
By the way, on the TSA thing, I'm all set to bring, we discussed this, I don't remember if it was on the regular show or the bonus show, but I'm going to be testing the TSA when I go on my flight over to Netroots Nation at Minneapolis. Full reports and pictures on the next show. When it comes to abortion...
We'll see if they put your name on a list if anyone hears this.
We'll see that.
You might get some trouble just at the check-in.